Failure and fear of failure, it's one of the biggest emotions as an entrepreneur that we can feel, all right? In order for me to answer this question, I'd like to first maybe teach and talk about how human beings actually learn. We learn through repetition. I'll give you an example. When you first started driving a car, you were very focused, very concentrated, and you were worried about X, Y, Z, and you were looking at everything, and you repeated through like how many driving lessons that you would take, probably have 25 to 30 to 40. Eventually, it clicks, your brain clicks, and then you learn, and then it kicks into your subconscious that you know how to drive a car. Then, when it sits in your subconscious, what it does is that it becomes like a programming. You now going somewhere and you go to work, you hop in the car, it becomes automatic. You don't even look, it becomes easy, it becomes effortless. So what has happened is that you have learned something through repetition, sits in your subconscious, and whenever you need it, your brain automatically kicks in, pick up the fact that you know how to drive a car, and off you go. Now, every experience a human being has works the same way. It means that what we learn from the time we are young, we learn through repetition. Our family will turn around and just say, you need to pass your exam, you cannot fail, you cannot fail, you cannot fail, you cannot fail. So what happened? Is that we start developing from the time you were very young a fear of failure, because failure is not on. You have to pass. So now, can you imagine, since you're a human being learned by repetition, how many times through your whole school year that you hear that? You can't fail, you can't fail, you can't fail. So now, in your subconscious ticks in, because we learn through repetition, we associate failure with something which is totally not on. It's wrong. This got very bad kind of consequences. So now imagine now you're an entrepreneur. That fear of failure has not changed, because now you're carrying on with it. And every time in your mind, you're thinking, I can't fail, because if I fail, there's going to be consequences. And this is where it comes from. It's important to understand it, because when we can understand the fear, then we can rationalize it. To rationalize it means is to take a step backwards, look at the fear, and actually go through a critical thinking process and rationalize it, and actually say, what am I really thinking about this situation? Is this justified for me to be really fearful about it? What is the real cause which is making me fear it? Because if you think about it, if you can turn your environment the other way and look at it as not being a failure and fearing it, and turning it the other way and looking at fear as an opportunity to learn, as an opportunity to become stronger and better, then failure will no longer be an issue. If I have to give a message to entrepreneurs out there, is that don't be scared of the failure, embrace it. Because it's only through failure that you're gonna learn and grow. Because if you don't fail, you don't grow, because you don't know or what's going to be good for you or not good for you. The biggest businesses in the world all went through failure. So don't be scared of it. Embrace it, because through failure, this is how you're going to learn.